What is up, guys? Alright, so, if you haven't already, before you watch this video, I would really like you to please go back and read the biographical content, for Claude McKay and, this poem. Obviously there's more to know about Claude McKay than just the violence and suffering that he witnessed and experienced. However, this poem is written specifically about that, about the treatment of African American and other black people in the United States. And what he's writing about is particularly around the period of time following World War II. McKay was, a Jamaican immigrant coming to America. So he's writing about America with there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of hurt, honestly, in this poem. There's a lot of pain. But there's also hope. There is also kind of like a determination to not be silenced. As an immigrant, McKay had a lot of hope for America. Saw it as a place with a lot of possibility and a lot of opportunity. And basically, a lot of this poem is going, I don't understand why America is hurting us so much, because America can be so great and we can make it great. So anyway, if you haven't gone through that content, please do so. Particularly written content about the Red Summer, which this poem is written in direct response to. The Red Summer of 1919. Alright, so I'm going to read this. Going to read it through. Then we are going to kind of analyze what kind of poem this is. It's definitely a sonnet, but is it Shakespearean or is it Petrarchan? And remember, that has to do with largely structure, the way the thoughts are organized. So let's get right into it. America. Although she feeds me bread of bitterness, and sinks into my throat her tiger's tooth, stealing my breath of life, I will confess I love this cultured hell that tests my youth. Her vigor flows like tides into my blood, giving me strength, erect against her hate. Her bigness sweeps my being like a flood. Yet as a rebel fronts a king in state, I stand within her walls with not a shred of terror, malice, not a word of jeer. Darkly I gaze into the days ahead, and see her might and granite wonders there, beneath the touch of time's unerring hand, like priceless treasures sinking into the sand. Alright, so not gonna lie, first impressions, this one always gets me. Like, it's there's like a noble imagery here. Like, it's very a sense of good and evil, and a sense of energy, a sense of nobility, especially the mentioning of kings and rebels and granite wonders, and the more traditional classical reference to time. Just like in Sonnet 116, there's an allusion to time, as in the sense of the supernatural, in the sense of a being personified, or death, time being personified as a figure, usually referring to, again, Greek and Roman mythology. Let's take a look, though, at what kind of sonnet is this. So, Shakespearean, Petrarchan. The Shakespearean has this alternating rhyme scheme, where A, B, A, B, A, B. Petrarchan alternates differently, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, and then breaks the octave, A, B, B, A, and then the sestet. And then again, the Shakespearean has the group of 12 lines, the 3 quatrains, and then the rhyming couplet, that's just 2 lines. So let's take a look, see what we have. Although she feeds me bread of bitterness, and sinks into my throat her tiger's tooth, stealing my breath of life, I will confess. So that's A, B, A, and then tooth and youth rhyme, so that's A, B, great. Blood would be C, because that's a new rhyme. Giving me strength erect against her hate. Her bigness weakness might being like a flood. So we have A, B, C, D, C, D. Yeah, so this is already established rhyme scheme, shows us that this is a Shakespearean sonnet. And if we want to make sure, we can go back to the bottom here and look at the rhyming couplet. Beneath the touch of time's unerring hand, like priceless treasures sinking into the sand. And as I said in the previous video on Sonnet 116, that rhyming couplet again at the end, it serves as a conclusion. It's wrapping up the thought, and the way that is accomplished is by the double rhyme, hand, sand. Whereas before we're having that alternation, it's not as harsh, there's a flow to it. At the end, these last two lines, it's a very harsh sound. It's a very finite, complete sound, and it's all wrapped up there.